jokes, and I told her it's probably not the dumb one. But there was one more serpent to be had. This is the World of Motion. It was an opening day attraction at EPCOT. If you didn't ride it, it told the history of all forms of transportation. So one of them that we're aptly dressed for today was seafaring, and there was a great sea serpent in that scene as well that we love. There he is.
I love this guy. I just kind of love imagining what happens when he takes his telescope down and what his reaction is going to be, right? So it's kind of a punchline waiting to happen. It kind of plays out in your head. And it's just silly. It's
yeah,
silly.
It's going to get an eye full of eye.
Silly.
What's funny about this scene is tomorrow, Imagineer Stephen Vigny is going to come up and show you guys some great stuff. But he once told me a story that when he and his brother were younger, they would, when they were boarding World of Motion, they would fight to sit on the side of the car away from the sea serpent because they were so scared of him. And I always thought that was so funny because he doesn't do much in the scene. But again, you know, when your imagination takes over, it's really great. The next character we're talking about is a sidekick. Not all characters are the star of the show, but they're very important. And this one happens over at Storybook Circus. I'm sure some of you have seen the Barnstormer featuring Goofy as the Great Goofini. It's one of the longest attraction names we have, if you want to know, but that is the full name. And Goofy has a sidekick. We unofficially named him Peanut, and he is a monkey sidekick that helps Goofy with all of his stunts. So if you look here when we were designing these posters, we really thought we needed a little bit more fun to be had, so he's lighting the wick. In two of these posters, he's ready to deliver medical attention. So in the one with the tigers, he's all set with his doctor bags, and in the one in the wrestler, he's checking to make sure Goofy still has a pulse. We said with Peanut that he had, when it came to stunts, he had all the gain and none of the pain was kind of our motto for him. All right, now we're going to talk team leaders. This is really important, folks. These are the people that wrangle all of the other park stars in their shows. And so for the first one, we're going to go back to opening day Epcot again. It's Kitchen Cabaret and Bonnie Appetit. So if you saw this show, you know that Bonnie dealt with a lot of unruly stars. I'm kidding, they're all very nice people. And they delivered a great show on nutrition. And Bonnie kept the whole thing running with her exceptional leadership skills, dealing with folks like the kitchen crackpots and these yolksters, ham and eggs. It was a super fun show, and it was really great, and Bonnie kept it running smoothly.
She had a really good name, too. It's
yeah.
A very clever name.
Yeah, very clever. But of course, that show went away, and a new show came in its place with a new team leader, Food Rapper. This guy took nutrition so seriously, he tattooed it on his body. I've never seen anyone with more Helvetica tattooed on them before. It's a graphic design joke for any of you designers out there. But he was the leader of Food Rocks, dealing with some really interesting people like the Peach Boys and Peter Gabriel, and of course, those rockers that celebrated junk food, Excess. There they are. So I always felt Food Rocks rocked harder than Kitchen Cabaret, but that's just my, thank you, that's just my opinion.
And I feel like that's not really true.
Oh.
Yeah, Kitchen Cabaret rocks a little harder than Food Rocks.
Really? Oh. Well, luckily there's only one way to settle this die. So today, we were going to do the first ever battle of, by the way, I think this was going to be a really bad idea. We're going to do the first ever battle of the food bands. And
it's pretty serious.
Yeah, I'm pretty serious. So I wore the shirt to the concert. I'm one of those guys. So here we go. Not planned at all. But I'll let you also know that the shirt's available at Mickey's of Glendale in all sizes, so come visit our merch table after the gig. All right, so let's do this. Battle the food bands, here we go. We're gonna do it. It's Kitchen Cabaret versus Food Rocks. Let's settle it.
Everyone, Kitchen Cabaret, if you think that rocks harder than Food Rock, round of applause.
Okay, Food Rocks fans? I told Di, I said, you take Kitchen Cabaret because you'll win.
Okay,
All right, one more time for Kitchen Cabaret. Food Rocks? Okay. All right, and let's just cheer for good nutrition. All right, well, thank you. That was fun. All right. And I'm glad to have a fleece and flannel jacket off. All right.
Follow that, right?
Yeah, good luck, Di.
Okay, well, it's a good thing because this is one of my favorite characters out there. He is my partner in crime. He is an explorer, he's an adventurer, he's a collector, and he's also plays the role of a nosy neighbor, at least in this attraction he does. That is my parrot, Duncan. Duncan lives over at Typhoon Lagoon, over at Misadventure Falls. So, as the story goes, we got stranded there a long time ago when we're out treasure hunting, and, Typhoon swept up our stuff and crashed it down right in the middle of Central Florida. So that's Mary Oceaneer and her parrot, who is actually a diving partner, so he's an adventurer as well. One thing that we really like about Duncan is that he's a collector, right? So he lives in the hull of the broken ship right now, and you can actually see him kind of chatting about and collecting things. There's a lot of Easter eggs here, so it's not only stuff he's collected throughout his adventures, but then also new stuff on the island as well.
And I think what's great about a character like Duncan is it's someone everyone can relate to, because everyone knows a nosy neighbor. In my case, it's my mom, and I see a little bit of her in Duncan, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah. And then in my case, it's me. I am definitely a nosy neighbor here. I'm very curious. So let's see what he's looking at now.
Holy mackerel! Would you look at the flippers on those? I like the cut of his jib. Hello, sandals and socks. He wears sandals and socks. Hey, sandals and socks. Sandals and socks. Pops wear sandals and socks. Watch for 10 lines with sandals and socks.
Might have called him the judgy neighbor.
Yeah, he's a judgy neighbor. No, that was really good advice, though, I think.
Yeah, practical.
Practical. So just one quick thing, he's a real busybody, but he knows what all his neighbors are doing. Everyone who lives on Typhoon Lagoon is connected by Duncan. So he talks to Typhoon Tilly, to Miss Tilly, Singapore Sal, and Low Tide Lou, as well as guests who are passing by. He's always looking for treasures and crackers and new things that he can acquire.
All right, our next character is an interesting one, the Salesman. Salesmen fall into a bunch of different categories. They're either sort of kind of Weasley or trying to pull one over on you. You can decide who this one is. This is Sir from Alien Encounter at XS Tech. We got some Alien Encounter movies. Great. If you didn't see this show, it was really something. The pre-show was amazing. Sir was there demonstrating XS Tech's newest teleportation technology. In doing so, he scorches Skippy there as he transports him across the room. But what his real goal was to set you up for a Disney attraction that I don't think we had ever designed anything like that before, because not only was it a very interesting theater show, but it also delivered on the terror as seen in this marketing photograph.
Yeah, I think it's great. I love that she's literally crying on
Yeah, she's got a tear in her cheek. One thing I will say about Alien Encounter really quickly was I took my cousin on that show and we watched the pre-show. And that pre-show was so amazing. When he got done, he thought that was the ride. And he was like, dude, that was awesome. Where are we going next? I'm like, no, there's more to come. Just wait. Anyways.
Cool. We also have another salesman. This one's a little bit older. Go back to time to World of Motion, and this is our used car salesman. But it's real fun because, it's a chariot. I have to say I love the banners all around the set advertising this. If you ever get a chance to watch a video or read the script, the language is super fun too. It's just used chariot salesman.
It's great.
Lots of puns.
And a show about transportation to have a used car salesman is brilliant. So, thank you, Ward Kimball. The next one is the Time Travelers. So these are characters that transverse space in time, and it's a good thing they do. And let's take a look at who these folks are. Of course, it's our Carousel of Progress family. When they tell you it's going to be a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, you can believe them because they've seen it all and they've done it all in every decade imaginable. And even this one is a great photo that a lot of you may never have seen before. But this is Christmas in the 70s with the Carousel of Progress family. They were there too, and one of my favorite details in here is that large macrame piece that's hanging dead center in the stage. It is really good. Now, the Carousel of Progress family didn't stop time traveling in the Carousel of Progress, of course, because they made the jump over to EPCOT. And it wouldn't be D23, as Stacy said, if we didn't talk about this.
Step into the future in EPCOT Center's newest adventure. Step into the future in Horizons. Step into the future today.
So, of course, our Carousel of Progress family did step into the future. That was the amazing reveal of this ride, is after you watched all those historic scenes and you finally got to meet the narrators, you found out that it was the same family from Carousel of Progress. As a kid, my brain melted in my head because I just couldn't imagine it. But the cool part was, is now you got to see the family was grown up, they were a little bit older, and they were living all over. They were in space, in the sea, in the desert, doing really cool things that the future was going to bring to us. And it was really quite amazing. A couple other characters from Horizons, though, that we want to talk about. This one is the odd couple. You've probably seen these guys. One of them is upstairs in the gallery exhibit right now, and that's the Robo Butler and his good friend, the Robo Chef. Now, I went on this ride hundreds of times, and over the period of that, I started to realize, like, I bet these guys don't get along very well, you know? The butler was not only vacuuming, he's got a feather duster, he's very well appointed and keeping everything clean, and then 20 feet away from him is this chef who is an absolute disaster, ruining everything. And I just would imagine these scenarios playing out between the two of them. It's kind of the Disney Plus show I want to see. I just love those guys to death, and it's kind of fun to see characters used as a subplot in a scene, and it just shows the attention to detail that attraction had.
I think, speaking of subplot, I want to know the backstory of the Robo Chef and how he got that medal.
He did something
at
right
one
at least
point,
once.
like, was he a really good chef? Did he win a prize? And then also just his expression, just it tickles me. It looks like he's very nervous, but just trying to do a good job.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we have some more characters in Horizons, which are all the good boys and girls.
So, unofficial fact, Horizons had more dogs in it than any other attraction. Don't look it up, just believe me. There were so many dogs in this ride, and we didn't know all of their names. We did know one of them, and that is this young dog right here.
Mom! What is it, Tommy?
Look, Mom, I'm flying. Why don't you try?
I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. Don't let go of Napoleon. We don't want to lose him.
Hey, Mom, what if he just floats away?
He won't.
He won't. That Napoleon won't fly away. Don't worry. So that's Napoleon the dog. I wish I knew what the names of the other ones were. And there's another dog that was really fun in Horizons, and that was this one. This is the scene from the 50s, future of the 50s. This is a woman who was out for a jetpack dog walk or fly. I don't know what the term is for that. I guess we'll have to wait when we get in the future. But they're out flying their dog. That's it. She's flying her dog with a jetpack. And that scene was the inspiration for this.
Yeah, so this is really cool. Space 220 restaurant, when you get a chance to visit, you're gonna look out at the space station and see a whole lot of travel activity and leisure activity. And one of those is a dog walker in space, which is pretty fun. It's a nice nod back to Horizons, especially since it was in the same park. And let's just see what happens here. There's a little bit of comm chat we were able to gather from the space station as well.
Recon 1, this is Centauri Control. We have an unleashed canine floating around at 220.
Roger, Centauri. Heading there now.
Copy that.
Napoleon got out.
Yeah, he finally did it.
He finally did it. He got to that dog door airlock or something. Anyways, so last but not least, we want to wrap things up with the original Walt Disney World park star the character that was made before the park even opened, and that's the orange bird. If you look at the photo on the left, that's the orange bird while the park's still under construction. I always imagine he's bringing all the construction workers orange juice or something, so it's really kind of fun. And he wasn't just at the Magic Kingdom, he was also at the Village Marketplace, and here's some fun photos of him hanging out with Citrus. And then of course you can see him in the park today, which is great. He's at the Sunshine Tree Terrace sitting on a crate of oranges. We just refreshed all of the attraction posters in the train tunnels. If you haven't gone and looked at them yet, please do. We have a unique poster for every single one of our attractions in the park, and the Orange Bird has a poster too. And of course, the Orange Bird 50th statue.
Yeah, we just saw him the other day,
Yeah.
And it's very cute when you get a chance
Yeah.
for him.
But most recently, if you haven't heard the news, Orange Bird is going to get his own little golden book, and this will be coming out in January. And we're very excited about this to tell a fun Orange Bird story. If you did know about the news, you probably saw the cover, but what we're going to show you next is one of the spreads from the book, and there it is. And there's the Orange Bird hanging out on the farm at the citrus grove with all of his friends. And that's a huge citrus swirl when you're a tiny little bird, so I hope they know how to eat it really, really quick. And now, here we go. We're gonna end with a quick quiz to see if everybody was paying attention. No pressure, but we thought this would be a fun way to kind of wrap things up, so let's jump right in.
All right, first question. Which park star has the coolest job and the lamest name?
And the lamest name, and he is a bit out of this world too on top of it. Does anybody know? Anyone want to venture a guess? I knew this would be a tough one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tippy Blue.
Tippy Blue. Oh. That was. Okay. Anyone else? He's from Japan, by the way. You're on the wrong continent.
What?
Sunny Eclipse. Okay, let's show.
All right, guys.
Mr. Johnson from Mission to Mars. Oh, poor Mr. Johnson.